off camera like I said?
Nah.
No,
we'll
we're
do it
gonna
later.
do it after, later tonight.
We'll do it later.
Yeah. So, hey, what's up, guys? We are back. This is episode 5
Patent Pending, the podcast for creatives.
by creatives.
And who do we have on today?
We have Ashley. We have Ashley.
I call you
Meyers.
Ashley Truly still.
Okay, yeah, but then
Ashley Truly
I
is
saw
fine.
your website.
Yeah.
And is that your maiden name on your
Yeah,
website?
my maiden
okay.
name,
So
yeah.
which one do you prefer?
Ashley.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
So we have Ashley on.
Most people call me Ashley Truly. Like my clients call me
Okay.
Ashley Truly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your handle.
And
right?
Truly means nothing. It's just I have a very common name, so I found something that was really short to go behind Ashley.
Okay.
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah.
there's a store there.
It's a very popular drink too.
And people think I'm sponsored by Truly Drinks, and I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
never had one until recently.
Okay.
Client got me a few, and I was like,
I didn't even put the two and two together that somebody would make that connection.
yeah. Well,
That's the
no
first thing
free
I thought
drinks
of.
over here.
Oh, that's the first thing you thought of?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that.
Well, I didn't think that you were sponsored by Truly, but I was like, oh, it's nice, just like the name.
Just like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like,
I tried Ashley Sweet, Ashley Love, you name it, and Truly wasn't taken. So
okay.
I don't even know really what it means.
And for the video people, Ashley and I are drinking a beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Because for once, we're not recording at like 9 in the morning. So I feel like it's appropriate.
yeah,
It's noon right now. They have a problem.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah. My clients might think I have a problem. Yeah. You too?
yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, not everything has to be associated with alcohol, but we can go to
We
a
can
bar.
associate it. We can, yeah. We could definitely stop at a bar. Yeah, I was telling on the last one we did with Sam, another photographer. I had mentioned that I love that in between, like in our case, where we leave the chapel, hit a bar, and then continue shooting. It's like a good little buffer.
Totally. And it's great in the summer because then people can go inside.
That's also true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't caring about their well-being. I was just thinking,
It is a good little buffer, and no one wants 1,000 photos of them just walking. It's really nice to have people sitting. They get into their zone. They forget that you're there.
yeah, you kind of get to know them and then reset.
I had a couple recently who I was like, do you want to go to get a celebratory drink after? Because that's always what I ask, you know. And I don't always partake because I could literally drink every day.
Right.
What's happening is that's what's happening.
Right.
And so I'm like, I'm not going to drink today. I swear I'm going to go to this job. I'm not going to drink. And then eventually I just like, okay. But I asked this couple, I was like, do you want to go get a celebratory drink after? And he was like, yeah, that sounds great, you know. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Take him to a bar. And he orders a Diet Coke. And I was like, oh, is it too early? Or I was thinking, like, does he have a flask? I'm like thinking this story gets
Something's
better.
got to happen, right?
And he's like, oh, I don't drink. And I'm like, then why did you have me take you to a bar? There's cute coffee shops,
Right.
cake shops, ice cream shops.
Anything.
Nothing. We don't even have to do anything. We can just be outside. you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but to go to the bar.
Just be up front with someone. Like, that's not really our thing. Like, it'd be weird if I had a photo with a beer because it's not what I
Yeah,
do, you know?
or I'm
Yeah.
recovering, like, yeah, something to where you're like, yeah, that
Yes.
makes sense. We will not do that. That's
yes,
perfect.
yes, yeah.
So that's actually a great transition. What's your photographer and what do you normally shoot?
Yeah, what kind of photography
People,
do you do?
right? But you do like a lot
I
of
do a lot of
elopements.
I do a lot of
and-
lifestyle. I think I post a lot of elopements only
Okay.
just because that's the bread and butter. That's what
Yeah.
sells. And I do a lot of other things like branding. I have a couple clients like wine or Prosecco. I work with an agency in New York that sends me product, and I just don't find them as exciting to post. I don't think people like to see faces. I think.
Right.
For sure.
And so I just kind of got on this this continuum of like just constantly posting people, and I don't think it's intentional. I think I just got into a habit of doing
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
yeah, because and I'm sure that does much better than like product photography, right?
product photography has good money too.
Well, no, I mean more like social aspect,
Also, and
social
more
media,
continuous.
not financially. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, financially it's good, but yeah, I could see that like, audience wise, it's like, oh, cool, it's a wine, and you're like,
Yeah.
but I took this nice photo.
Yeah.
But look at the lighting.
Good
Like,
for
nobody
you.
cares. Yeah.
You guys seen this lighting setup? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. Where's
However, the brand shoots do find me through Google mostly.
Oh,
It's not
nice.
really Instagram stuff.
Okay.
You know, whereas people find me Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
And bigger clients like agencies find through Google. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting.
that makes sense. Certain lanes will find. Yeah.
They just use different algorithms or something to find
Right.
it.
And then, how long have you been in Vegas?
I grew up here half my life, but I swore I would never be back. And then here I am,
Okay.
8 years. This is my 8th year. So I'm 8 years into my own business. I moved here from San Diego. I'm from San Diego. But I grew up here. I went to high school here. So it was very familiar to move back to. I wasn't super stoked, but you know, smaller pond, bigger fish kind of situation here, you know, so.
Oh, okay.
You know,
sorry,
like,
I was trying to compute that in my brain for those just listening. I was
pond little fish.
Yeah.
Like LA or something.
Or
comparison.
San Diego even, you know, and it's very
yeah.
saturated with that very traditional kind of like whitewashed, beautiful stuff, just not me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I moved here.
Nice. What high school did you go to?
Las Vegas Academy.
Oh, LVA. Ooh. Nice.
I
You
just
familiar?
missed-
I have friends who went to LVA. I went to Durango. Yeah.
This is not a conversation between.
I was born and raised here, so yeah,
okay.
it's the same type of thing.
I was out of this one.
Yeah.
I just missed. Everyone thinks I graduated in 02.
Uh-huh.
But I graduated 03 and I just missed reunion.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I never even got, I mean, because I'm not on Facebook, but I never even got like word of like any reunion because I thought like part of it would be kind of cool to go to like a high school reunion just to
Yeah, flex on everybody.
That'd be really cool.
well, just to see, right? 'Cause you're like, oh, that's how you turned out or you know what I mean? Like, you know, the stories where it's like, oh, that dude died. And you're like, oh shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting to that age now where I'm like, oh, a lot of people are dying.
Yeah. Yeah. The older we get.
Yeah.
How old are you?
28.
You're 28?
Yes.
Are you really 28?
Mm-hmm.
You just
Damn,
you're just
alright.
now finding this out?
I feel like I asked it. I saw his ID when we first, I think because you told me and I was like, let me see your ID. And you're like, yeah, 28.
Yeah. I
just
turned
forgot.
29 in December.
Dang.
Yeah.
Youngest in the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Put me on the spot.
I might be the oldest.
Yeah, I'm 30. Am I 32? Yeah, 32.
I'm 37.
Sorry. For those listening, I had to ask my wife off camera because I don't. Somewhere between 30 and 40.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, back to photos.
Back to photo stuff. How long have you been? I got this one.
Get it,
How long
dude.
have you been taking photos, like professionally?
Professionally, a little more than 8 years, I guess. I was working for a corporate job in San Diego. My background is interior architecture. And I was
Oh.
working for the largest importer of natural and engineered stone, which is whatever. It rolls off my tongue really easy because it's like I was saying it for so many years, right?
That's awesome.
I know. But it was still in the creative space, right? And I worked outside sales, so I could really do whatever I wanted as long as I got my work done. And so I had excess hours to meet families at the beach and do like lunch shoots or whatever. And so I just started my book that way. And so I would say like a little like 9 years maybe.
What made you move from San Diego to Vegas?
Just the ease of living here. I think I still have a house down there. Well, it's more personal than that. I was living with my dad. My dad lives in the granny flat of the house. And it was a good time for change.
Oh, so you just like on a whim, you're like, hey,
Yeah.
Vegas. Interesting.
Well, but you're going back though, right?
Yeah, my
'Cause
mom
you're
was here,
experience here.
and I grew up here, so it wasn't far fetched for me to move back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just straight up. You're like, hey, you know what? Vegas sounds nice.
No, it doesn't sound nice, and it still doesn't. And I'm like 8 years later, like what the?
Wow.
You know what? It still doesn't sound nice.
So then what's keeping you, can I ask?
Nothing really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I get booked a year in advance, and so I'm very
Okay.
weary about next year, just because I'm like, we want to move to Hawaii possibly. We have a son now; he's a year old.
Congratulations.
And so, thanks. It's great. It's just you start to just see things differently, you know. And I would love for him to grow up in a place where my husband grew up, or a place like I grew up, where you can walk to a cafe, you can run barefoot, climbing trees.
Yeah. You're just thinking more
so-
ahead now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been a more ahead thinker, but
Okay, me too.
I'm always like a 5-year out thinker.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
I should like adapt those skills because I'm not.
But there's
at
a beauty to not, because in there's a lot of moments that happen in the moment. And if you just kind of live that life, well, I'm not constantly thinking 5 years from now, what am I going to be doing? But it is,
Right.
I do work towards goals. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like there needs to be that balance of living in the moment and just going with the flow, but then also going where are things going to be? Where am I going to be? Yada yada in 2, 3, 5 years. So
Yeah. One of my goals was to have the veil line, like a wedding veil line, and this happened, I think when I was pregnant maybe, and I was like, yes, I want to do that. And it took a while to like get there, to find suppliers, to find everything, and I have it now, you know, and I worked towards it. It took me a year, but and now I love it. It's so creative. It's so
Right.
colorful. It's endless. You can do so much with it. And it's selling out. Like, it's awesome.
So
That's
do you
awesome.
sell that with your photography package, or is that like a separate?
Oh no, it's totally separate.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
okay.
I'm just asking, like, if
totally
if like
separate.
you are like, hey, I also offer this, or if it's like it can be separate and it can kind of
It's
do
totally
its
separate. I don't even actually when a client, it's not even on my like signature
Right,
on my
okay.
email. No, it's a hobby for me. I love doing it. It's fun.
So do you make the veils yourself?
No, I design them and someone makes them.
Okay,
Kind of
cool.
a cool story, actually. She's a local person who's the head seamstress of Caesars. So
Okay.
she does all of
Oh.
the rock and roll shows there. And it's kind of a kismet thing because the veils are a rock and roll bass thing, like
Right.
song bass, which I
Okay.
grew up in that world of rock and roll and everything. And she works in the industry. So it kind of like
So
is this really cool
two peas in a
kismet thing.
pod.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
yeah.
That's interesting. And then how that came about, and it's also for us, it's nice that it's again someone local. We love.
Totally.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
for the home
then
team.
I noticed you said you're booked out for the whole next year. And I saw that on your Instagram. I'm just curious how you book out like a year in advance. Is that like what do you consider being fully booked? Is that like every weekend you're booked for the
On
year? or-
average, I probably do 20 weddings a month.
And then
Damn.
you're like, my books are closed for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, so I would say every month has its monster, right? Like April, May is going to be booked out so much because people those are the busy months.
Right.
Then you go June, July, August, hot as fuck. And you're like, I can really only fathom doing 12 to 15.
Okay.
Right.
And then I look at my book and I'm like, what am I doing? I mean, this is way too booked, you know? I need to
Yeah.
like stop the breaks because I just become so nice and people email me and I'm like, the day's free. I can't say no. And I'm like,
Right.
you know, and then
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you find that because I'm running into this issue, I think Sean is too, but I find myself spread myself way too thin sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
now that you
where
have
it's like backlog editing, right?
It's
Yeah.
the worst.
It's the editing I love to do, so I would never like give anyone my edits. That's what I think our bread and butter is. It's like you
A
know
little
how you took
frosting.
the shot, kinda, you know. But like for May alone, I did 22 weddings. And that's not including, I have clients like the Cosmopolitan is now my client for food and beverage.
Nice.
And I saw that you're working with,
I did some stuff for MGM, yeah.
love 'em, Park MGM.
Yeah.
Which I
But
love.
yeah,
They are
specifically
so
Park.
cool. So
Yeah,
cool.
thank you.
So it's kind of the same thing, and they're a monthly gig
Like
for me.
retainer?
Yes, and
Awesome.
I'm absolutely in love with like the whole thing. There is so cool. They're
Yeah.
so on time. Everything is just becoming my favorite thing every month.
That's
so
awesome.
It's not even work. Like I get to hang out with my friends and
Yeah.
shoot
Right.
cocktails. You know, so
And they give you like ample opportunity, like give you like your schedule or when they need shoot days far in advance.
Yes,
and
far
there's
in
there's
advance.
a deck that's very
Yep.
organized.
And because chefs are
Oh.
involved and the
I don't have any of that yet.
oh, that's how real food
they
and
give me
beverage
a
shoots are
whole
supposed to
brief.
go.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like a 10-page briefing, so you know what each location is supposed to look like.
Gotten one of those.
Yeah, because they have so
It's
many.
fun actually.
Yeah, it's nice because you know what you're doing or what the client's going for.
And you know exactly what they want, which makes it way easier for you, essentially.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, it's kind of cumbersome at first when you're beginning the relationship, but once you get like their vision, you're like,
Yeah,
I get it now, you know, and
Yeah.
so it's fun. It's cool.
yeah, and then you get to charge a commercial rate, which is you know,
Beautiful, yeah.
beautiful as well. So I know you mentioned some goals. Do you have any like goals, short-term goals or long-term goals for this year and next couple of years? I know you mentioned moving. That could be a long-term goal. What about in your career?
Oh, a new doggy. Hi.
You haven't seen that one yet?
No, you cute.
A little bat dog.
Long-term goal probably is to be more self-sufficient so I can live anywhere and not have a long-term goal actually would be to
Audio levels are still good on her, actually.
have my book look completely different.
Okay.
I mean, to be frank, I'm bored with San Diego, with Las Vegas. Like, I think it's cool. I get the aesthetic, and I get it, but I'm so over it.
Yeah, and when you refer to your book, you're saying like your schedule, like your
My
work.
book, meaning my if you were to look at my website, like what it looks like, my
Oh,
portfolio,
okay.
the vision,
Yeah.
you know, the backdrop is hard to make it different every time someone
Yeah.
comes into town. And
I
then
get what you're
to
saying.
be honest, like at the end of the week, and this is my fourth wedding of the week or whatever, and I'm kind of tired.
Right.
Yeah.
You get lazy.
Yeah.
And then you just like take people to the same places. They're
Mm-hmm.
asking for them. They love them. They've never seen them before. They live, in Australia or whatever it is.
Right.
But for me, I'm just like, oh my God, these bartenders probably think I don't do anything else because all I do is fucking take people there, you know? But I'm like, I swear they ask for it. I swear. But it just wants something new. I'm ready for like someplace new. So we were thinking of a second home, maybe.
Okay.
So going somewhere, building a book, having options, having different challenge, you know?
Yeah, because I think that would be your toughest thing, or our toughest thing, is being so specific to Vegas to then crawl out of that and be like, hey, I want to be, like you said, I'm in Hawaii. And it's like, well, no, like, you're the Vegas. Like, you got to stick to that.
I would love to even just do it all over again.
Yeah.
Even a whole new website.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
There you go. That's a goal. Start fresh.
Just switch it up. Yeah, completely.
Because I feel like you did, I was talking to Larry,
Reha?
yeah, Buffalo Larry. I was talking to Larry. I ran into him the other night, and he was saying, and it like dawned on me. He said he was like, Ashley has like changed the landscape of like Las Vegas elopements. And I was like, oh, that's so true, because like for the most part, it was very like light and airy, or like very like for a few years ago, it was like very warm and like desaturated when like everyone went through like the boho phase. And it's like you came out of that, or like emerged, and like now everyone is like wants the dingy, the motels and the Vegas chapels, and like it's like I feel like you were on the like ahead of that curve of like,
oh, thanks.
We're not just, because like I was in the same thing like for like 18, all everyone wanted was like Red Rock. Red Rock, Dry Lake Bed for me.
Yeah.
And now it's like I don't even know the last time I shot Red Rock or Dry Lake Bed.
Oh, thank God. I mean, the Dry Lake Bed's cool, but Red Rock.
But that's all it was. It was like, that's that same thing where it's like you see it, okay, you like it, but then how many times do you do it to where us on the creative side is like, oh, but I know it's new for you and it's exciting, but for me, I've been here 3 times, 4 times. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah, thanks Larry. I don't know.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah.
Buffalo Larry.
Buffalo Larry, that's a great nickname.
So, yeah. If you've seen him, you'd be like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He looks like, he looks like my grandfather. He wears like a meat. No, like he looks, like the style of him, like my grandfather would have like a big cowboy hat and have like a fox around his neck, like a coat. And yeah, so he reminds me of,
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, not in like an age way.
So
I can't wait to see what Larry looks like. That'd be great.
have you, I know you mentioned you were getting a little, not necessarily burned out, but can I say burned out?
Sure.
Of that, do you do anything to remedy a burnout or like a creative rut?
I always try to find new places.
Okay.
And I go rogue everywhere. I'm one of those people where, like, the plaza for so many times, be like, ma'am, you cannot shoot here. And I'll literally go the next day and I'm like, oh, really? I totally forgot, because it doesn't matter, because whoever's working isn't going to remember me.
Yeah.
I know what you look like.
Yeah, I know. I go rogue everywhere. Like, I just try, like, recently I tried on Main Street. Now we have, like, an ice cream shop. There's the Freed's Bakery. I don't know. Just
switch up the locations. Just try to keep it fun and different. But what about outside of photography, though? I know you have a child now. Like, is there anything that you do to, like, just outside of creativity, just to ease your mind a little bit, maybe? Do you have any hobbies? Or
I know it sounds really lame, but I play Scrabble.
Scrabble's awesome.
Okay. I was not expecting that. Wow, that one.
Like,
that was a good
I love
one.
word games. I love reading, but as soon as I open a book, I just fall asleep anymore. But I'm avid, like, 1 book a week reader.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten to do that.
Who's your favorite Scrabble opponent?
Oh, that's a good question. I just play whoever is online who wants to play me.
Not like, you're not like playing like Scrabble against
That's
your...
why
I do. I have 2 board games of Scrabble.
Okay.
But no one wants to play me.
You're too good.
Okay.
It's like Monica from Friends. Like, no one wants to play me. I've asked Brent, my husband, and he's like, I really don't like playing you. And I'm like, because I always win? Why?
Wow. Yeah, that's why that threw me off, because I pictured you're like setting up the board and you're like, come on, honey. And he's like, not again. But I forgot that we have phones and
I do. I play on my
technology.
phone.
What does your husband do?
He's in the hospitality industry, but he's a musician too.
Oh, very cool.
So I would say first and foremost, he's a musician. So he does a lot of, he produces music. He can record music. He's a guitarist. He plays the piano.
Dang.
Drums.
It's a very creative household you have.
Took the words out of my mouth.
There's always something going on in the house, especially music. Every day he has his guitar in his hand playing for our son. Yeah.
It's a very conducive environment to being creative, and
it makes it very calm. Yeah, it's a good place to just, to create. Our son is profoundly hard of hearing.
Okay.
And so hearing aids seem to be working. Of course, he's only a year, so time will only tell. But it seems to be working. And so he always has live music playing. He's already learning to strum the guitar.
Oh, nice.
dang.
Yeah, it's cool. He plays the bongos.
Is he
Okay.
walking yet?
Yes, he can walk.
So he's like playing guitar in a sense before he can walk?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He can walk, definitely. He's just being a little apprehensive.
Right.
But I get it.
So it's like, seems like family time is like your non-work mode?
Yeah, and I'm so easy. 9 to 5. I've always been like that. Like, don't reach out to me at 9 p.m. I won't answer.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, I had a client reach out to me like 8:30 last night, and I like laughed out loud to my like girlfriend. I'm like, why is she calling me at this time?
Oh, they called you?
Yeah.
No, that's inappropriate.
Yeah. I mean,
You would have said.
and even
I mean, was the job for the next day?
no,
Was
Yeah,
it for last night?
no, it wasn't for nothing. It was probably just to check in on like a text or an email.
Oh, yeah.
Would have sufficed.
Also, too, let's touch on that.
Let's do it. Let's touch it.
Please, people, stop DMing me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I put that on my bio now, too. It's
Oh,
like, don't
God.
DM, just email me.
Things get lost.
Absolutely.
Joe Schmo's
Yeah.
name is not Joe Schmo. I can't look for you. I have no idea what your handle is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
For sure.
I
email
do it
me.
more so, and we talked about it on one of our other ones, of whenever, I don't know if you're the same, you were not like that. You had a very good turnover rate. Whenever I get a DM from somebody, it never follows. It's like a window shopper. So they'll be like, hey, how much for a shoot? And then it's like, okay, well, what are we shooting? Like, you have to go through all the things, and then by the time any like sort of solution got resolved, they were just window shopping.
Oh, that sucks.
But so that's why I'm like, DM, if you're serious, you're going to email me, you're going to
Yeah.
look at my website, you know, the whole thing. But his case, he was actually the opposite. He was like, I actually do a decent turnaround rate from somebody DMing me. So I'm
Really?
curious, is
I delete
your-
them. I don't even answer.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
No, literally, I will delete your DM.
I did that yesterday. I did that yesterday for the first time. Somebody emailed me and was like, you know, yo, how much for a shoot? And I was like,
Delete.
I can delete this.
Yeah.
Felt good.
Yeah, and then it's the same thing. My stuff just gets lost because then I'll
Yeah.
have like, because it's also social media. So then all my friends sending me shit of my girl
Yeah.
and this and that, and hey, how you been? Da, 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 da. Then like work, the line between work and personal gets blurred very easily, and then it gets lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just easier to keep track of everything in an email.
Yeah, especially work email when it's made for that.
Yeah. And you have everything there. It's all in
Yeah.
one little stream.
Yeah, and then you have your signature that looks professional. I was gonna say footer. It's
It is kind of a footer.
right. Thank
Yep.
you. See, don't laugh at me. So I know you mentioned your husband was buying a drone.
He got a drone, yeah.
Okay, is he creative too, or is it just fun? Or?
Yeah, he's learning
Outside of
video
music,
and
I'm
stuff.
sorry, but
yeah. He's learning. He likes it. He seems to be enjoying himself, yeah.
Because he's done some video work with you recently, right?
He'll do video and I edit.
oh, nice.
Oh, so you'll just bring him in as like the second video?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that idea.
I actually truly enjoy editing video more than photos sometimes.
Well, I think of it as a puzzle, and if you like Scrabble, maybe that's the
Maybe
correlation.
quite possibly, yeah. Yeah, that
It's
would
like a
make sense.
fun puzzle. Like,
Yes.
how can I make this look cool? How can I make it look like this?
And I have
Yeah.
patience for nothing too. So like
Okay.
I make things really quick, and I'm like, no one has time for this.
Okay.
You know, like no one has time for a 5-minute video. Like let's just make it 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's cut this down.
Yeah, I did a 17-minute video one time, almost like a docu-style. And I was like,
17.
no,
No, bro, what are you, a filmmaker?
He's like, I'm going to Sundance.
It's hard for the job.
You better put filmmaker in your bio with a 17-minute video.
Yeah.
You're only 28. You have a lot of years ahead of you.
Oh, I hope so.
I mean, video
yes,
making.
so- oh, okay. I'll take whatever I can get. If it's just
All of a sudden, he
if it's
just looks like Buffalo Larry.
I'll take all the years I could get.
I was in the camera store earlier, and some guy clearly like was 70. I don't know what the conversation happened before that, but he was like, "What are you talking about? I'm 30." And it was funny because it was like clearly like, "Dude, you're 70." Anyway,
Wait, what?
What was that?
But he was 70.
he was 70, but he was like, "What are you talking about? I'm 30." And it was funny because like the way he said it, so like innocently of like, "You're talking about I'm 30," and it's like laughable because like you're old, like. You're 70 old.
Do you shop at B&C a lot?
Yeah. Why did you bring this up today?
Well, you just brought it up. She can't hear us. She has her headphones in.
Oh, she's listening. Yeah, I
Do
shop at
you
B&C.
like them there?
Do I like who? Like the
B&C.
Like, what do you mean?
I always said B and C.
Like shopping
Like
there or like
the
customer service there?
Customer service.
I think the customer service is good depending. Like, obviously, there'll be some instances where they're not that knowledgeable.
Do they follow you? Are they
I
listening?
don't think so. No, I don't care if they listen. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, even today,
yeah.
I bought a new camera, and I was like, okay, give me this, and the other, and I said, give me a battery. I didn't say it like that. I don't like, give me it. But I was like, oh, can I get a battery for the camera? And he gave me the wrong battery. And so it's like one of those things where you get home, and then Mike's like, yeah, that's the wrong battery. And I'm like,
You came all the way home to realize it was
Yeah.
oh, that sucks.
So it's one of those things where it's like a simple thing. We're talking about the camera, buying everything for this specific camera.
Sure.
And I get the wrong battery, and it's like,
And
come on.
it's all sales are final, so I'm sure they're going to give you a hard time tomorrow.
No, they're not.
All sales are final, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to
Yeah.
return it, but like still, like
Yeah,
they're
they
going to
ain't-
give you flack about it
They
for
ain't
sure.
giving me shit.
Yeah, they gave
Yeah.
him a little baby battery for the R3. It's like, nah.
I try to support them in the fact that they are the only camera store in town, and if they did close, that would suck.
There's one in Henderson.
Is it really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Couldn't tell you the name right now, but I know there's
All
one
good.
in here.
Good to know. I
Yeah.
literally thought that they were like literally the only one, and
No,
so
they're
I
the
try
monopoly.
to support them as much as I can.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, Amazon.
Well, I got my R3 there because they're like a mom and pop shop in comparison to Adorama and B&H. So the back order list for the big companies was like massive. So then I got in on the second shipment for the R3,
Oh, okay.
which was good. That's why I like that. But then if you're going to buy a memory card or like little stuff, it's so overpriced at B&C.
Yeah.
They gouge
Yeah.
you.
So it's certain things.
Because they know you're in a pinch and you need it now.
Yep.
That, I don't
They
buy
take
that there.
forever.
Where
Yeah.
do you shop at B&C? Or are you a
Our
frequenter?
house is right near it. Like
Oh,
we
yeah,
live
you're
right over
saying-
there.
But do you shop there?
I mean,
You just live near. That's all.
live over there.
Yeah.
I go there for film on a pinch.
Yeah, if you're in a pickle.
They've been out.
I'm in a pickle. Give me your pullers. I'll be like, I'll need film. They're like, they walk like Terminator. I'm like, walk fucking faster, man.
I got
Terminator.
shit to do.
Yeah, they've been out of film recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like color film. They have a ton of black and white because no
Yeah.
one shoots black and white. But color, they're just like never have it anymore.
Yeah,
Do you shoot film as well?
I do. Yeah, I
Nice.
prefer film.
Oh, cool. I don't shoot film at all. So he's been like,
You've been wanting to get into it though.
Yeah, so,
still
yeah.
haven't.
Just start it. Just do
yeah.
it.
Any recommendations for cameras or?
I was gifted a Canon AE1 by my grandpa, so I'm using my grandpa's camera.
Nice.
And it's really quite beautiful.
Nice.
And you can get it on eBay with a lens, probably a 50 fixed for $100.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're
Dude, that's
really
super
cheap.
reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
I'll
just
check it
don't
out.
buy like if you like look at like contacts T2s, they'll be like $700 because they're like a
really?
hype camera. Yeah, like the T2s are like a hype camera.
And then what film do you guys like?
Oh, I love Portra. Portra 800 probably.
Okay.
Sometimes I do Cinestill film, but it depends on the client because it's Cinestill,
Okay.
Super cool, yeah.
like cinema, but
Yeah.
Cinestill. Really cool stuff. It's just it's depends on who you're shooting for because it has like a very street vibe to it.
Okay.
It's very blue and tungsten,
Yeah.
and they have like it's cool.
And 800 is the ISO speed, right, of the film?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
Portra 800 is really beautiful. It comes out with this like very pink. It's really good for skin tones.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the more expensive. You can start with Portra 400, you know.
Okay.
You can get a pack for like $35 on Amazon.
And then are you shooting like the 800 in day still?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Is it? I see. Like, yeah, I was just, I don't know, in my head.
100%. You
Well, I
can
guess
just
because
change
then you
your
just
ISO.
change your shutter speed, right?
You also don't need to be all the way up at 800. It is going to maximize the film's capability.
Okay.
But you don't have to. Like, especially here with like, we have everything reflecting off cars and streets or what. You don't have to be at 800, but you just change your
I thought
f-stop.
you had to be at 800 if it's 800 film. See, I don't know anything.
I don't
This is
know. I
fun.
didn't even know that. I'm learning too.
Okay.
I just.
I
yeah.
don't necessarily change my ISO, but
Okay.
you don't have to be at 800.
Okay.
That's just the capability of where the film can
Yeah,
go
for
to.
sure.
Yeah.
Shit. So in that case, I think my camera's always at 400.
See, you're doing it. You don't even know. But
Yeah.
I also have a really beautiful RZ67. It's 120 millimeter. It's
Ooh.
stunning.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I don't shoot it anymore because the film has gotten.
Yeah.
And I also have a Polaroid back for it
Oh,
from Japan, so it's like one of those old school editorial film backs. So
Yeah.
or Polaroid back. So the Polaroid comes out like that big. Stunning. It's really, really
Oh.
beautiful. I have never seen photos more crisp than in this camera.
Yeah.
But it's like $40 a roll right now. It's
Oh my
so
gosh.
expensive. Yeah.
And then there's like, what, 25 or 26 shots in a roll?
No, yeah,
There's
120 is 8,
Whoa.
yeah.
120 is like that big. So you get like 8 photos. I have film in my house, but I'm just like holding on to it for God only knows.
And then do you develop it yourself or do you take it like Photoshop?
I send it out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, who do you use?
I don't want to tell anybody.
You don't want to tell
off
away your
camera.
secrets? Give away your secrets.
All right. They're
No.
amazing. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, that's between you guys. You don't have to if you don't want to, but
Oh, I was just saying I don't know.
I love
You
them.
have your reasons.
I
Yeah.
know it's kind of shitty because then I'll post their things and I'm like, but if I tag them, everyone's just going to go follow and like do it. I feel
then
like.
tell them off camera. Don't blow up the spot if you don't want to.
Oh, yeah, if you don't want to blow up a spot, then yeah, you're good. You don't have to. I use Photoshap.
Yeah, they're local.
Oh, we're near UNLV?
Yeah.
I love them. They're great.
Yeah, so
I mean,
I'll check out that camera. I'll look it up.
yeah.
Which one?
The Canon one you mentioned. And then do you get booked for film stuff as well?
Yeah.
Or is it, oh, wow.
Some people only do film.
Wow.
Yeah, they'll only
That's
ask
so
for
cool.
film. Yeah, so it's an upcharge.
Okay.
I just make people pay for the film, the processing, and the shipping of the film.
Okay. And then your hourly or whatever
Yeah,
you
so
charge
whatever
on top of that, your rate.
whatever they've booked, and then the added film rate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool that like people are getting booked for film photography like in this year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a whole. Yeah, I get it. Like every time I get a inquiry now, there's always like, we also love the film style. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Nice. That's such a different like
It's a different client too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I rarely take on ones that are only film because I'm like, I gotta have a safety net for my own mental being. I gotta have some digital, but I have done maybe one, somewhere between 1 and 2. We'll go 1.5. Where it's all film, and it's a weird feeling because like I'm used to like I take the picture and I like naturally go to look at the review and I'm like, oh, it's all digital, and then so after a while I'm still doing that. I'm like, oh, there's nothing to review. I hope these are good.
One day randomly I had 2 elopements that were film only.
Yeah,
That was
it's
cool.
fun, but it's nice because you don't have to edit. That's the pro. Oh, if you didn't hear that, it's nice because you don't have to edit.
Yeah, it's funny because it costs more, but it's like less work for us.
Yeah. Well, that's like how some like commercial work is too. It's like, oh, just shoot and dump. Like we have editors and everything, which is rad.
Yeah.
I had a really cool job with Savage X Fenty. It's
Oh,
like a
yeah,
laundry. And they were like, can you just shoot for us and then just send us the raws? And I was like, you don't need them edited? And they're like, no, we just real time or live time or whatever they say. Just send them over to us. And it was kind of nerve-wracking because they did a live stream, so I had to tether my camera to my computer, and they were at Skype or Zoom or whatever.
So a ton of people were
and
just
I was just like kind of sweating balls. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, all these people are watching me. And they're like, it was during COVID. So they basically wanted to be a part of the photo shoot, but couldn't physically be a part of the photo shoot.
Gotcha.
You know?
Okay.
And so here I have like they're like telling me behind, and I'm like, yeah, okay, move
They're
this
art
way.
directing over the phone.
Yeah, over the computer while they're like seeing the tethered. But everything turned out.
Oh, that real quick. That brings me to a question. You guys can both answer. Do you guys take on those assignments that only want raw? If they're like, hey, we just want you to shoot and we'll edit.
Absolutely.
You do?
Yeah, I just make sure everything's perfect. Like for instance, yesterday I shot for the NFL, and they're like, "Oh no, you don't need to edit. Just shoot. Make sure everything's good in camera or on the computer." So I shot tethered, and then I FTP'd it when I got home to them.
What about you?
I don't.
Do you ever turn down any ones that like now that situation I can see because you're like it's a super cool gig, this and that, like I'll do that, but then other ones where they're like, we just need a shooter, and you're like,
Well, I mean, yeah, because my rate's still going to be the same if I'm editing or not, for the most part. If it's like a little easy gig and they don't want me to edit, I feel a little more weird. But if it's like a big client like the NFL, like they're going to cut all the people out of the
Are you
background.
talking about the charity golf thing?
No, I shot the Raiders Media Day yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there was like 10 stations. It's like 5 photographers, 5 video guys. It's all for different stuff. And the NFL had me there just to shoot them on like a gray backdrop, 4-point lighting. And then I'm sure they're just going to cut them all out and then turn them into ads, this and that, you know.
Yeah, for that I could see that they would probably need their own editing anyway, because they are going to cut them out and do like those like graphics. I was actually booked for NFL last week. It's the coolest job that I've gotten in a really long time without taking out my gear in my backpack.
what'd you do?
I did not even get to photograph.
So some
And
get
it's like
canceled?
the coolest job I ever had. And I'm like, I have no proof of this. So So one of my clients is a private airline, and they fly in people all the time, right? And they were flying in 2 people for there was a charity thing going on at the Wynn, or I don't even know if it was charity. It was like a golf thing.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
So they had 2 really big names. One name is like the biggest NFL person ever, and I was like, wow, that'd be great if he was in my book. Even just like a couple shots. He was supposed to come out of the plane with their logo on it, what have you. The guy decided to show up in his friend's plane. So we're driving.
First world problems.
Oh my God, man! $15,000 an hour, $200,000 a month just from the airline, plus free travel.
And you didn't take it?
Well, the story continues. He didn't take the plane. So we're driving to the job, and they're like, okay, so this is how it is. Because of, regulations, don't photograph the plane he's coming out of because the numbers and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. That's cool. I get it. Yeah. So it went from that to, okay, I think just photograph him on the tarmac coming in from the plane onto. I was like, all right, cool. We can do that. That's actually even better because I don't have to worry about whatever, and I can make my lens super blurred and you know. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we get to the airline, the airport, and it was a private airline. So it wasn't their plane that came in, so they wouldn't even allow me on the tarmac. So then it went back to my feet have to be in the airport, in the lobby, and I can photograph him coming, walking in. But he's not going to walk anyway. He's going to get picked up from a black SUV Escalade. So I'm like, what is it? It went from a nice little nest egg to you basically have a twig. Yeah. There's nothing here for you. And then it was an all day thing and didn't get to photograph anybody.
You still got your rate.
Still got paid.
That's awesome.
Hey, yeah, I mean,
but it was the coolest job I can say that I've done in a while. I never even got to
the coolest opportunity, and everything was lining up until it wasn't.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw that thing at the Wynn. It was
he had to approve my Instagram, so he actually looked at my personal Instagram, and I was like, what's on my Instagram? But he approved me.
Nice.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Is his name a secret?
No, Tom Brady.
I was gonna say that was
there's only one. There's.
Oh, I was just gonna say because I don't know sports. Yeah, because I was like, there's only one name I could think of.
Well, they gave me a second name. I thought it was a rapper. I had to look him up, and I was like, oh, he's a football player. I was totally aloof. I had no idea.
Because I saw them at the Wynn, because all the Wynn people were there at the golf thing. And
that's right. Yeah, he was golfing. You're like, well, this ain't your sport.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something funny to rhyme his name with, and like, does his name rhyme with? But I couldn't rhyme Tom Brady.
Shady. Well, Slim Shady, right? Yeah.
Slim Shady, Tom Brady.
Oh,
that would have been great.
We have a rapper in the group. Forget photography.
I'm somewhat of a wordsmith.
You do. Is there anything else you shoot? You do a lot of couples elopements, and then you do commercial stuff as well.
My favorite thing. One of your questions was what would be my ultimate client or whatever.
Yeah, what would be your dream client?
Yeah, we're supposed to ask that.
Well, I remember
That's
things.
Okay. That's okay. You're asking.
I think you have 15 questions. I looked at it once. I remember them all. We're no one's listening anymore. They're this girl rambles way too much. My dream client, actually, I've gotten to. I love people who can travel, and I think actually you get the best images when you have continual shoots with the same person.
You have a relationship with them.
Yeah, because that's when you get the rapport. You understand each other, and you can get more creative, and you have a better bond. And so she's a musician. She got to travel in Europe, so we've been to Greece, Italy, Austria, Germany.
Oh, you traveled with her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
She would fly me out. She would be on tour, but I would get to go for a week or 2 weeks. And she's now a dear friend of mine, but started out as a client.
That's awesome. So follow-up question, who is your dream client that you haven't worked with that you want to?
I would say that just the same thing. Someone who is a continual,
So someone to just bring you,
Just someone who, yeah. I think that would just... Nice. It could be a clothing brand. It could be a person in particular.
Just long-term client.
Yeah, just to build a rapport,
Nice. Was it cool you said they were a musician?
Yeah.
Was it cool to have a musician husband and then work with a musician?
I was single at the time.
Oh, right on. Did that help with your husband being around musicians? And then you got a musician? I don't know. You could do vice versa.
No, I just have always been immersed in music.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up always music playing in my house. No one's a musician in my household growing up, but my dad is a total rock and roll guy. Toured with Tom Petty.
Oh, nice.
Got a lot of history with that kind of crowd, I just grew up in that, so.
Nice.
And I also danced.
Okay.
What kind of dance? Like
ballet,
ballet?
jazz, modern. Yeah, that's what I went to LVA for.
Oh,
So
okay.
music has always been a part of my life.
Is there a favorite place for you to see music in Vegas?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Not to be on the spot.
What's
So I would say the Sand Dollar is probably.
I was gonna bring that up. Sand Dollar's
really?
fucking awesome. Yeah.
Have either of you been to the new one yet at Plaza?
Not yet. No.
I no.
I'm taking a break from a drinking career, so it'd be probably not
Well, we
fun
are,
to go
so
sober.
Go there and watch me. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you,
I'm like-
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna
can
go
still
to a
go
bar and
watch
drink.
the band.
I'm good.
Go get no. You can go to a bar and not drink.
Oh, I could, but that doesn't sound fun. I mean, go hang out with all my friends that are drinking. I'm like, just gonna hang out.
Well, I'll throw a bone to the Hypnotiques. That's my husband's band.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
cool.
They play at Golden Tiki.
Oh, Gold Tea is also very awesome.
I've been there once. God, it's so small and
It's
dark in
just
there.
so small.
Wait, no, I'm getting confused.
You're
with
thinking of
Frank's
Frankie's.
Tiki Lounge.
You're thinking of Frankie's.
I am thinking of Frankie's.
Do you leave smelling like a cigarette?
We've been one time, so yeah, she's nodding
Yeah.
yes.
Well, one you
Frankie's.
can smoke, one you can't. Right?
What's that?
I think one you can smoke, one you can't.
So probably Frankie's you could smoke, right? If I smell
Either
leaving like
it's
an
just
ashtray.
so old,
Oh.
and you used to be able to. I don't know.
Sorry, back to original thing. So he's playing at Golden Tiki, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I was thinking. So we're
Golden
That's
Tiki.
a good spot. But my favorite place for music though,
Where?
the Dispensary Lounge. It's over near UNLV.
Really?
It's on Tropicana.
Okay.
It's been there for like 45, 50 years, something crazy.
Really?
It's in a strip mall. You would not
Wow.
even, you would drive by it and not even think twice about it.
Yeah.
They have carpet in there. It's all carpeted.
Ooh, like the
Plush
floor is all
carpet.
carpet.
Yes.
If there's one thing, my biggest regret is not getting a piece of the El Cortez carpet.
Why would you want that?
Oh, dude, that's
I love
iconic.
Del
I would
Cortez.
wanted it. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
wanted a
What
piece.
would you do with it?
Just
Put it under my bed or something? I don't know.
hang it up.
It's probably haunted.
Make underwear out of it?
It's you know how many smells or memories are on
Yeah.
that? Like you go, this piece right here.
I just think of germs.
I'd frame it or something.
I couldn't.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you'd frame it that way. It's not like wafting of like
Yeah.
old.
No, it's just containing.
Yeah, exactly. Then you can open it, get a little whiff.
This is from This is the carpet that they never changed for 30 years.
But yeah.
The Dispensary Lounge?
Yeah, you got it. It's jazz.
Okay.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Okay, because the Sand Dollar's always a great time.
This is a great spot. They always have like a soul singer. There's a whole band. The person who puts it on is the pianist. I think he's German, and he's just so good. It's amazing. They have a really good burger if you eat that.
Okay.
I fuck with the
Their
burger.
drinks are kind of if they upped their drink game, it would be top
Yeah.
notch.
So you go to the Dispensary Lounge for the music and a burger?
Yeah.
Not the bar part of it? Okay.
Oh well, no, we drink.
Well, I know you drink, but you said the drinks are like, eh.
Well, if you were to get a
Subpar.
Manhattan, it's not going to be like, this is the best Manhattan I've ever had while I'm listening to jazz. It's going to be like very booze heavy and a splash of whatever is in a Manhattan.
Which, is maybe not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right, if it's booze heavy. What's your favorite poison of choice?
Oh, yeah.
Wine.
Wine?
Oh,
Okay.
curveball.
Nice.
Why? Do I not look sophisticated enough?
No, because we're drinking beer.
Yeah, you
we're
brought-
drinking beer.
you brought
and
beer
then,
over.
I don't know.
I need
when
another one.
When I think of
you want another
when I think of like dive bars, I don't think that you would have like chose like a wine.
Oh,
Because we were talking
yeah.
about Sand Dollar, we're talking about Dispenser, so I'm thinking, okay, bar, we're thinking like I said, either just the standard beer or
Oh, if I
like
were to go, oh no, I
old
love
fashioned
beer.
or something.
You want one, Sean?
I'm good on this one.
I like beer or wine. I'm not a huge hard alcohol drinker.
Right.
But if it were presented to me, I love an old fashioned, yeah, or Negroni.
Never had one of those.
Have you ever been, I'm sure you
I'm
Do you
trying
like
to-
gin?
I don't know yet.
Campari, gin, and vermouth. Ooh, that drink is so good.
Because like here's my thing is every time we go out to dinner I try to get an old fashioned because I want to be like a whiskey guy, but I
I get rum
haven't-
old fashions.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are they better than whiskey old fashions?
I'm just not a whiskey drinker.
Yeah, I want to be a whiskey drinker, so I'm like trying to like find the right whiskey.
Yeah.
But I'll try a rum old fashioned next time.
I had a client who was a whiskey drinker and he was a whiskey blogger.
Whoa.
And so it was kind of cool because I went to their room. He had like all these whiskeys and he was like telling me what makes what.
Right.
It's a huge thing. It's a
yeah,
massive
for
culture.
sure.
And I'm just like, you're going right over my head.
Right.
I'm not obtaining any of this information.
Yeah. I didn't need to know that it's aged for 30 years in like this oak barrel.
Yeah.
or however whiskey's made.
I think something like that. I know more about tequila. I know Blanco's unaged, Reposado's like up to 6 months, and then Añejo is 2 years or longer.
What's the one that, what does
Aged.
George Clooney drink?
Well, there's a whole brand that has all of them. There's usually different like ranges, but I don't know anything about whiskey.
Yeah. It just made me laugh.
So
George
gives me a
Clooney.
headache. Have you had any like crazy nightmare stories or nightmare clients?
Oh yeah, let's talk about horror clients.
What if they hear it? What if they hear this podcast? And
Just don't say their name.
Yeah, but if I am going to explain my day, they're gonna be like, shit, that was me.
Well, I got
But
one.
I should call her out.
Oh,
You should.
All
right. Well, fuck
This
it.
was
last name
horrible. I was thinking about this because I read your questions and I was like,
you did your homework.
Shall
you're so
I?
lucky.
Because you started it. Because you had said, precursor. We were talking about something else, and you had said, if you ask me something, I have
have a
no
filter.
other reason. Yes, you have no other reason but to tell the truth. So.
Well, I was just thinking about, I was like, wow, I'm so lucky I don't have any of these clients. And then all of a sudden it was like, doom, doom, doom. It like hit me like a wall and I was like, oh my God, this was the worst day of my life. And I had just had my son. So I was very hypersensitive on the time amount I was leaving him. My husband was watching him. This day,
Gotcha.
Brent had to call out of work because I was late coming home. The bride was 4 hours late.
What?
Oh, no.
How are you 4 hours late?
It's beyond me. I went to her hotel room. It's a shit show. There's like 20 people in this room. All of her bridesmaids are getting ready with 2 hair and makeup. The bride is still like knee deep in her pajamas, and it looks like I don't even know what happened. And I'm like, I'm like here way too early. You booked me way too early. Well, obviously, XYZ, 100%. Then there's a knock on the door. They are checked out of that room, right? They're not even supposed to be there.
Oh, God.
my
The
gosh.
hotel's like, it's 3 p.m. You were supposed to leave here at 11.
Whoa.
And let alone, the wedding was an hour and a half away.
Whoa.
In a state park that we have that takes a long time to get there, and there's no service when you get there.
Oh, this is great so far.
It's horrible.
Oh yeah, it's great in a horrible way.
I mean, and I'm sitting there like, obviously she's gonna come back at me and be like, you didn't get what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted this stuff. And she was a huge bully. She was yelling at everybody, including her husband of the day. Yeah, it was
God.
horrible.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're an hour and a half away, and I'm looking at her like, you have literally 30 minutes with me still. Because she's like 5 hours late by this point. Still in her hotel room. Still knocking.
So you're with her, but she's clearly not ready, so it's just wasting time.
Oh, 100%.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and we had to go to the state park, right? All of her family is waiting. She has, to even do anything in a state park, you need a proper officiant with proper paperwork. So it's like a big thing, you know, you have your seats ready, there's an altar. She even had me go to the state park a few weeks beforehand to like walk the space with her. Very extra, this person.
Right.
I don't mind it. If that's what you need, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's no way for me to get a hold of anybody because there's no service. I don't have like, you know, any way to be like, dude, she's 5 hours late. Like she's not showing up, right?
Yeah.
And in these state parks, you have a certain allocated amount of time. So you have like 20 minutes to do this, and then there's other long list of people, right?
Yeah.
So fast forward, she still wants to go to the park, and I'm like, I felt bullied into it. And I'm usually really strong when it comes to like holding my ground, but I just felt like she was a big bully, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So we all drive out there. She has a bus full of people, and we take her photos, or we were planning to take her photos. She goes to her ceremony spot, and there's another wedding in her ceremony spot, and she gets in a fist fight.
No. No.
Whoa.
Yes. Like a fight with the person who's officiating this, like whoever put on, like, it's called elopement Las Vegas or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That team, she's getting in a fight with the team because there's another bride at her own time, and she's like, I booked this spot for the whole day, and I'm not gonna, I just was like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I walked away, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I just cannot believe it.
Right, this is not real life. So what happened?
Well, I was there, right? So might as well take photos.
Did you go with everybody else?
Well, I was in my own car.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, and then I took their photos, and thank God the sun goes down and things just continue on. And I'm like, I'm like, sun's going down. We got to get out of here. I mean, the park closes anyway, and you don't want to take photos in the dark. Who does?
Yeah.
And so the earth was on my side that day. But I went home super late.
Okay.
I was so bummed.
And then how new was your child?
Maybe it was like 3 months.
So it's kind of just like looming over you.
Yeah, I was just like, I was just super hypersensitive on like who's coming. My mom's going to come at this time. And you know, it's a lot to deal with.
Is this your first child?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about children, but I can only imagine, you know, it could be super intense. And
well, then just the fact that, because now you're just going to think about like, wow, like I'm stressing over who's watching him and all these things, and it's like that's not fair to you because like
I should have been done already.
Yeah, that's just not fair to you.
Because we didn't have my mom scheduled to come watch him because I thought I'd be home in time
6 hours ago.
Well, then you can't even call to like check in and be like, hey, babe, I'm so sorry. Like, and then you can't even vent either, because I know when I'm on a bad gig, the first person I text is my girl. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah.
You know, that's the first thing I do.
Yeah.
So
clear your schedule. I got to vent.
That was a bad one.
What about you, Mike? Do you have anything that comes to mind about like a horror?
No, I'm very fortunate. I haven't had, and this is probably one of the reasons. I think I just like, I don't really do weddings. I do like maybe 2 or 3 a year, and they're all just like friends or friends of friends. So it's super easy.
It doesn't have to be weddings.
Yeah.
No, I know. But I'm thinking like in like my realm, it's usually just. It's always miscommunication. That's all. It always comes down to that.
Oh, so it's just
always,
normal.
It's always just normal stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's not like there's a lot of pressure on this one person. Or,
right.
You know, it's a lot of shows where like I don't even have to talk to anybody. I can just put in my earplugs, do my thing, and then go home. And then like, for instance, the shoot I did yesterday was so organized, and like there's a deck, and then I got to set up on Sunday. So I walked in Monday morning at 6:30. My shit's ready to go. Everything's ready to go. Just double check the lighting, and then the players came through. So it's like cool. So easy.
And that's what the beauty of working with nice corporations.
Exactly.
Because everything is just so streamlined.
Yeah. People themselves are always behind.
Yeah. But
with late clients, I'm like, now, I mean, if they were to show up and like how you said you were waiting at the chapel, if your clients late.
Yeah, they were 20 minutes late, which isn't the end of the world, but it's
you told me a story the other day that you just reminded me of, but
oh, yeah, did I? I told you a story.
The drunk guy.
Oh god. My horror story, I'll keep it short, is she emails me, and it's like the standard couple. We don't do photos often, like we're pulling teeth, and of course I'm thinking, most people don't. This is going to be a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. He'll be fine. So I text her as I'm at the Las Vegas sign, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm here, yada yada. Oh, so-and-so has started drinking. And I'm like, cool, like, they'll be loose when they get here. Like, usually I like when they're a little drunk because it'll be all right. Or drinking. He shows up drunk, like, to where he can't walk himself kind of drunk, where you're like, your balance is not there. And it's like, this is...
Before their wedding?
Yeah, it wasn't a wedding, so they just wanted... So they got married, like, a year before that, and they just wanted photos because they didn't have any. So this, like... kind of like a weird thing, like they already got married but they just wanted photos from it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so he shows up drunk, and it tested my patience a lot because I dealt with a drunk grown man for 2 hours.
I think I've had that before.
So forcing them to do photos when they don't want to, and they're drunk.
The best part, what about his pants?
Oh, so then they're telling...
Did he piss his pants?
No. Oh. So, because they hop in my car.
I'm like, damn it.
No, so they hop in my car, right? Because I'm like, hey, we'll hop in my car, we'll go downtown, whatever. So he's complaining the whole way, and then he's talking about his pants. He's like, I hate khakis. And I'm like, what's wrong with khakis? So then it comes out, he tells me, he's like... She tells me, she's like, oh yeah, he hates khakis, but like this is like, I had to get him a nice pair of pants and khakis. And I'm thinking in my brain, I'm like, lady, like if your dude hates khakis, why would you make him wear khakis to do photos? Like everything is like working against us at this point.
Yeah.
But he just ranted about how much he hated being in khakis. And I'm like, this is great. This is fun.
I worked at a wedding chapel when I first started when I was like 19. And
like 2 years ago?
Yeah. 2 years ago. And then we had some clients like that too. So that was probably like my nightmare.
That's my night. Everything else is usually pretty good, but it's one of those things where you're just like...
But that entire place was my nightmare.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're just like, this is not real.
Yeah. But it served a good purpose, but like it was just like in and out. People are hammered. People are weird.
Yeah.
It's just like you're like forced to take pictures of them because it's like a package. It's just like, oh, gross.
Yeah. Gross, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've dealt with drunk people show up. Mostly the friends of the couple, you know, where they're like, it's like herding cats and they're out like, and they're like in the street and just like, oh my God.
Herding cats is like the best
that's a good analogy. Yeah. So then I wanted to ask you, like, if a client shows up late, does the way your bookings work, is it from a time to a time, or is it like an hour?
Okay.
100%.
So if they show up 20 minutes late, you now have 40 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Nice. And then I'm assuming
because the contract has to be, otherwise people will always like, but just like five, like you go to one more spot, and I'm like,
advantage.
No, they take advantage. So if you book me, it's in the contract like 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or whatever
That's
the booking
awesome.
is. Yeah.
And I'm assuming you get some sort of deposit.
35% deposit.
Oh, cool. See, that's stuff
and it's non-refundable.
That doesn't really exist in like your world, really, right? Like with night lights and things like that.
It could if I push more for it. I think for some stuff, but
a lot of corporate stuff takes like what 30, 60 days.
What's the thing? Yeah, like
net 60
I did a gig.
Fucking net 60.
Yeah,
I forgot you even did the job.
Yeah.
Like I went through my unpaid invoices and like, oh yeah. They still owe me like that much money.
Oh,
like,
I got money. Cool.
I have money coming.
Yeah. So Sean's going to Europe for a month.
Yeah.
And he had a good question to ask us.
Yeah, I wanted to ask both you guys. So I'm going to, we're doing London for 3 weeks. We're going to hit like Barcelona and Paris. But I wanted to ask, because the normal part of my brain is going to bring every piece of gear and camera and
apparently
lens.
you don't have anything anymore.
Well, yeah, so I'm selling it all.
Right under the bus. Right under the bus.
So apparently I'm selling everything. If you,
like what lenses to bring is what you're going to say?
Well, what I'm asking is like, do I go super low key, minimal, and just bring like one film camera and just shoot film, or do I bring the shaboodle? Do I bring?
I think film camera. Probably.
I think would just be film. Yeah, there might be a agency that you can rent, like how we have here, like borrow lenses or something like that, and they can send you like you can rent while you're there. It's like you have a specific thing that you want to go do, like go look at the stars in somewhere, I don't know. Right. And like you wanted to rent.
Do I look like the person that goes and looks at stars?
You're gonna make coffee, bro.
What does that even look like?
I do look.
You do look like someone who won. Come on.
Fair enough.
You probably have it tattooed on you.
But so
somewhere.
you're saying, so you guys are saying, like turn off the photographer brain and just go enjoy vacation.
Why are you going?
Vacation. Well, that one over there, off camera and off audio. There's a little lady over there.
But you're going to enjoy yourself with your significant other, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to pull away from that. So if you bring a film camera, and then also, if you put the film camera on the ground and stomp it out, you're not going to cry. But
yes, I will. Yes, I would.
No. But
because then I lose the camera and film.
In comparison to your R3, that's what I'm saying.
What R3?
Why is he putting camera on the?
No. So what I'm trying to say is like, I would voluntarily take my second camera body and break it over my main camera body. So for you to bring your main setup cross country just for fun, it's like an inherent risk when you're trying to just focus on enjoying yourself. But I'm saying is like, wouldn't you rather smash your...
Yes.
I say film, and also it keeps you in the moment too, so you're not looking at your...
Yeah, you just go snap. And then
right.
You and your girl can keep doing what you guys are doing and enjoy yourselves, you know?
Fair enough.
He doesn't like our answer.
No, I knew. It was one of those things where you ask the question knowing in your heart, yes, because I didn't want to lug everything. Because what happens anyway is, I don't know if you guys have ever been on vacation. You never use half the shit you bring anyway. You just are like, oh, cool.
I've never taken a day off. No,
you've never.
I went to Lake Tahoe last year and I brought my whole bag. And I brought like a camera slider and I did a time lapse at the lake and it started raining and thundering and my girl's spazzing with the dog. She's like, let's go. Let's go. But I'm like, no, wait. Like this looks great. Just wait. And then like start walking and then I like stop to take a picture and she keeps walking and then she's like, where the fuck are you? You left me. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm just here. And then it's just this
They just don't understand.
They don't get it. You know?
She understands. She just got a little scared. I get it. Whatever.
Yeah. She's got a little wet.
Scary out there.
Just a little rainwater.
But now this time I'm shooting a wedding up there. So I gotta bring it anyways.
Lake Tahoe, man.
That's my favorite place on earth, I think.
That's what I say.
Yeah, it's the best.
But you're trying to live in Hawaii and you have no plans of leaving Vegas.
No, I was looking at houses to buy in Lake Tahoe. They're $1 million. I can't afford that.
This legitimately, I had a conversation with my grandma who's now passed 5 years ago. I was like, we need to buy in North Lake Tahoe.
Oh.
They were only $350,000. Now it's totally, you can't even buy.
That's so funny. We stayed in Kings Beach last time.
Kings Beach is exactly what I told her.
And then now we're staying in Incline because my buddy's getting married in Incline. So it's still pretty close. But
yeah,
Tahoe's the shit.
Huh. I think we've been once.
That's the
South
shit.
Tahoe is like more the college area. North Tahoe is the shit.
I couldn't tell you. I just remember we walked to the water.
I don't want to see that
water,
college
so.
stuff. Yeah.
Are we doing? You want to do recommendations?
Sure. Yeah.
So are
I'm down with that.
Does she get tech rec?
Yeah. So we like to do for each episode. We like to recommend 3 different things, like a Las Vegas locals thing to go do, like food, bar, this and that. We kind of already did that with $10. And
Dispensary Lounge.
And Dispensary
And
Lounge.
Dispensary
so she did
Lounge.
too.
You guys
Yeah.
have to check that out.
Okay.
Seriously.
All right. When I put my drinking pants back on, maybe we can all go.
Put on your jazz pants. We'll go.
Invite me when you go.
That's right.
we'll
I
all
said
go.
we, as in.
We'll all go.
Oh,
Well, you were looking at him, so.
well, I didn't pan quite yet to you.
It didn't make it.
But I said we. Quentin Tarantino in here. You know?
I know, foot fetish, huh?
Yeah.
Totally foot fetish.
All right. So.
Quentin Tarantino has a foot fetish?
What?
Well,
how do you not know this?
all of his films have like feet. Come
Yeah,
on.
he's got close-ups of girls' feet and all
Look
his
for it
films.
now once you watch one of his movies.
That's good. That should be the title of a podcast is Quentin Tarantino has a foot
No,
fetish.
this episode's gonna be called Foot Fetish.
All right. There we go.
Actually, you know what's a great question too? Is like what inspires you?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm asking.
For us to ask
Yes,
you. Okay,
no.
cool.
Tables have turned. You took a break. Now
No,
I'm
that's fine with me.
You
I'm
should
down.
ask me.
I'm
I got a
down.
question you should ask me.
What inspires you, Sean?
My wife inspires me. Oh, I should be like, my wife inspires me, guys.
like Borat, my wife.
Were you
Am I-
signaling over there?
Yeah, she waved. I don't know. To be serious, I don't know what inspires me. Like, I guess seeing other people's work does inspire me.
Nice.
You know, seeing other people do, like, whether it's in my realm or like just in general, seeing shit that like motivates me.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Nice.
Music inspires me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. What about you?
Well, now that's actually like full circle to like what I do in my off time, or like what I zone out on, or I said Scrabble. But I
Yeah.
love classic movies,
Okay.
and I took a Alfred Hitchcock class like in,
It's like
in
super
college.
classic.
Yeah, very classic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very classic.
Yeah, and I like macabre things, like shooting through things, or like having a frame of something. But you like, I love mirror shots, or like
yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Which is pretty prevalent, and I think like before ceremonies, like with women getting ready, with brides getting ready and stuff. Like you get a lot of cool.
you could, yeah, it's
You could. I don't
like
know if
through
you
a
do, but-
veil, through. I
Yeah.
like
Like the
the
textures.
intimacy and texture, yeah, and like
Nice.
shooting through things. But I love classic films.
Okay, so then you'll find inspiration by watching them.
Oh yeah, I love them.
Nice.
It's like theater on screen.
Okay.
What inspires you, Michael? Oh, dude, I've never called you Michael before. That's crazy.
Michael's good. That's cool.
What inspires you?
What inspires me? I don't know. Honestly.
It's tough.
Really?
Yeah, I like seeing movies are cool. I like also like working hard inspires me. I like if I like right now I feel like I'm in a I don't know if I'm inspired. I'm very motivated. Like I feel like I've like hit like a nice stride recently, and it's nice. I can just like I have so much motivation to keep going.
That's good.
Like a borderline motivation and inspiration.
Yeah,
could
just to keep going, and using different lenses has been inspiring.
Ooh.
Just
What's
trying
your
to
favorite
do
lens?
different, probably 35 and 85. Yeah,
Like primes, 35 prime.
yeah. When I
85
first started, my first lens I ever got was a 35 1.8 Nikon, and then I got an
Nikon.
85 1.8 Nikon, and then when I first started shooting music, I only had those two lenses, which is great for low light. But then
Yeah.
I got really accustomed to those focal lengths,
Yeah.
and then I would
Yeah.
use them at the wedding chapel as a secondary photographer.
Yeah, and you're too close to people at 85.
What
Like
was that?
sometimes you're too close to people. You don't get
Yeah.
the full like
Yeah.
ambiance of it.
Yeah, so those are fun.
Why 1.8? Why not 1.4?
Well, what I said was when I started out, I got the 1.8 and the 1.8. Now I have the 1.4 and the
okay.
1.4.
I
Yeah.
have yet to have a 1.4.
I always tell people invest in lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because they never go out of style, which now
Yeah.
is like not going to happen because Nikon's getting rid of their DSLRs. They're not making them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
And
mirrorless.
So if anyone out there is looking for So if anyone out there is looking for a D850, I'm your guy.
Yeah, it was just when I started. Now I have the 1.4s.
Yeah, but I've yet to do a 1.4. Is there really that much of a difference? What 1.4s do you have?
85 1.4, 35 1.4, 50 1.4.
Oh.
Yeah.
70 to or my 28 to 70 is 2.8, but then I have a 70 to 200 2.8. But all my fixed lenses
All
are
the
like
primes are.
Yeah.
That's another good question. What do you shoot on?
Nikon.
Okay.
D810.
Nice.
I have 3 bodies right now.
Well, I know
D810.
somebody who's selling a D850.
Do you know a guy?
I know. He priced me way too high. I literally just bought my 3rd 810.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Which I really love, but they're not making anymore. And I just, my husband was saying, you love it because you're just used to it. Maybe if you find something else, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like an. Obviously, there's a few reasons why I literally just switched to Canon today, but it's also one of those things where I'm so used to Nikon that I'm like, I need something to like relearn and like challenge myself.
Yeah, I think I might be right there with you.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing with lenses too. Like I've noticed recently, I'll always shoot with the 24-70. That's just all day. And then I'll always bring the 85 in the pocket and then I never use it.
Oh,
and it's like,
my
dude,
favorite lens.
break out of that habit because I first started, all I had was a 50. And
Yeah.
I had the 50 for like the first few years. I mean, obviously hobbyist, but like I had the 50 for years. And there's no
That's
shot
what I
on.
would tell people to start with is a 50. Because that's
Yeah.
when portraits start 50 and above.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
But the 85 is stunning.
85 is stunning, but the 85 is still hard. Like if that's the first lens you had,
Oh, yeah. It
it'd
would
be like,
crop you waste.
you'd be like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
When I first got it, it actually made me feel kind of out of sorts.
yeah.
Because it's just so fucking close to things. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I like this. And then I was like, just keep working with it. And
Yeah.
oh, man, I put it on every day now. I love it
It's
so
the
much.
best. And then going back, never mind. Yeah, but I want to get. I even got a 100 or 400 recently.
Wow.
Super fun.
How many apertures you got?
4 to 5, 6. But like shooting the like day clubs with it and stuff, I can just like snipe people with it.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk to anybody. I can shoot the DJ from far away and get like different crazy angles that
That's cool.
not a lot of other people get. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice sometimes. Where you don't have to interact. You're just like, yeah, let me just get this from over here. No, because
Yeah.
then when people know they're on camera, they're like,
My active.
Yeah.
oh,
I hate that.
Yeah, and then I shoot at a theater here in town, and then I need it to shoot from certain angles, that focal length.
Right.
'Cause the 7200 is not far enough.
Before child, I would always try to shoot the moon.
before
yeah?
child.
Nice.
Before child.
Yeah.
Now I'm just too tired. No, really, truly. It's the thing. You get tired. But before child, I would try to shoot the moon like on our special moon nights, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fucking hard to shoot.
Yeah.
Do you need
I
like
don't-
a special like camera or lens for that, or can you,
You just
just
need a super long lens, I think.
Yeah, but it seems like the times that I went rogue on a rooftop, like drinking, it was better than like renting a lens. I got like
Yeah.
a 500 millimeter and I was like, this is going to be the best thing ever. No,
Oh,
because
right.
everything's always moving. And the bigger the lens and the heavier the lens,
Right.
it's always moving.
The more- yeah.
The click, it moves. You move. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the hardest thing to get. Truly.
Yeah.
Ashley,
It's-
truly.
I was gonna say,
On each episode, we like to recommend like a technical thing we could recommend.
a local rec and a
local
chill rec.
and a chill rec. Do you have any of these that you would recommend?
Well, we just did tech.
I know about the video cutout, the audio cutout.
Oh, right.
Audio cutout. No one knows the audio cutout, but us
So
when
my
we
tech,
splice
I make
it.
sure my audio always
Yes.
works.
Speaking of tech rec, make sure you have
batteries are charged.
non-shitty batteries.
They were charged in our defense. I think they're just losing their cycle.
Yeah,
My
it's,
tech was not good though.
No, I think it was good because I was going to touch back on it.
Having
The
my
24
80
to 70 and 85 as a combination at a ceremony, which is great because you have wide and tighter, but then you also have lower light capabilities as well with 85.
Yeah, so
let
I
her
have-
re-explain that, so then you
Yeah.
could just
Well,
say
Maybe
what you
he's a
said.
mind reader.
Maybe he
No.
knows the
No,
future.
it's true. I always have like a flash on the 24 to 70,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have no flash on my 85 fixed. When I'm meeting someone at a chapel, I just immediately put those two on, so I don't have to fumble with anything, and I'm ready. And low light capabilities of my 85 goes to a 1.4, and you get like all of the really beautiful shots of the ring getting on, the detail shots of them like pinky holding, like whatever they are, and
Yeah.
eyes crying, and
Yeah, that's such a big combination.
My bride the other day, snot flew out of her nose, and I got that.
Nice.
Right. It's good, bad, and ugly.
And another tech was my stupid labeling.
It's not stupid.
Yes, it is.
No,
Because I don't
what's
even
the-
use them anymore because they're all booked. They're all full.
But tell us about the labeling.
I put one thing that says full and one thing that says clean. Mm-hmm. But they're all full.
All your cards are full now.
That's not a bad problem to have.
So
And I don't
yeah.
delete them until I deliver the images.
Yeah, so you have backups.
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I just, that gives me anxiety.
I back them. Yeah, I back them up on the hard drive so that way I can free up space on the cards.
Well, I do it too, but still I try not to delete them on my card. I just, I don't know. One time I don't know what happened. I lost someone's images.
I've done that twice. One I thought I dumped and I didn't, and I formatted the card.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're talking about. And then the other one, I don't know what happened, but they just disappeared off the I left the card in the camera overnight before dumping. Mm-hmm. So I guess that'd be a good tech recommendation. Dump as soon as you get home.
Yeah, put them on your hard drive.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. And it was a client that it was a post-elopement photo shoot, and it was like for an hour. Mm-hmm. They showed up fucking drunk, man. We didn't jive at all. So it's not surprising that I deleted their photos. I don't even know what happened.
Subconsciously, it's not surprising that your photos just went missing.
I'm serious, yeah. She fell on the street like multiple times. Very drunk. Then, randomly, we were on the same flight the next morning to Nashville, Tennessee.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
Did you guys sit next to each other and hang out?
No, but I saw them and she was like...
Did you... Oh, she's hungover. Did you tell her at that point, hey...
I didn't know at that point.
I lost your photos.
I was like, what I do for... Okay, this might be a tech thing.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
There we go.
Right now, I'm still editing in April. So I go through the calendar and I just do it that way, and everyone's shuffled into a line. So there's a queue,
order.
of course. And I went to her name, looked for her folder, and I was like, "What? I never. Oh shit!" And I'm like,
Start sweating a little bit.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? Like,
reimbursed her money, and I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
She goes, "I don't remember the time downtown. I was really hoping for the photos." I was like,
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
yeah.
I did that once. I was like,
Here's all your money back.
I was like 22 or something, so a few years ago. As
Mike doesn't age.
And I called and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I lost your photos. And I remember like taking the check and be like, just ripping it up. I'm like, hey, I ripped up the check. So I didn't deposit it.
Yeah. What a good, good thing to do.
Heartbreaking. And then I wanted to ask you too, I know we already talked about it, but I want to say it again for the people listening. Do you cull in Lightroom or...
well, I do. I put everything into a hard drive in their own folder, and then I import to a Lightroom.
Yeah, and then you'll cull, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
Cool. And then
everyone gets everything. I don't delete anything unless it's a stupid photo.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So it will, like an hour shoot would yield maybe like 100, 125 images.
Jesus.
Is that low?
Well, high as shit for me.
Is that delivered or
delivered images? Yeah.
Yeah, my 1 hour is like 50.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm actually not a shooter either.
Yeah.
But I shoot two bodies. Do you shoot two bodies?
No.
Maybe that's why.
And Ashley is probably so proficient.
Yeah, because you have the double lenses. Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Because I have two bodies.
Because there's no way around it. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're changing lenses, that takes up time.
But I do tend to overshoot. I just try not to deliver. Sometimes I'll deliver more, but I try to stick within what I like the contract we agreed upon. Like 1 hour is 50. So sometimes some will get like 70, but I try to not. I'm not going to give you like 150 photos for when I told you 50.
I don't tell people how many images they're going to get. I just deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's weird, which maybe I should tell people this, is like you book 6 hours, or if you book 4, or if you book 3, sometimes it's the same amount of photos.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I had
because there's more lollygagging on a longer shoot.
100%. It's almost a waste of money.
Yeah. There's a little more fluff.
I had 2.
We can cut that out for you.
Well, actually tell people that, because I always tell people like this is too much time.
Yeah, I don't need to be with you for 6 hours.
It's also kind of a drag sometimes too for us.
Yeah.
Even though it's more money and it's nice, it's like you kind of feel bad and you're like, this is not really doing much. And
yeah.
I feel like I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel guilty.
Right. Yeah. I had one time recently. This couple booked me for about the 6 hours.
Yeah.
So the first part was getting ready at the house, which when I got there, she was already ready. So again, it's like why was I here for this? Mm-hmm. And then the chapel they booked doesn't allow outside photographers, so I literally was just a guest. Because I couldn't shoot. Yeah.
Viva Las Vegas Chapel?
Yeah. No, this one was Bliss.
Ugh.
So, so then there was that.
Both of those.
And then the third part of it was we were going to do photos at the dry lake bed, well, there was like a weird lull in between the chapel stuff, we did the chapel, then we went to Sure Thing to do photos.
Oh, okay.
So she booked 2 chapels, one for the ceremony and then one for Sure Thing for photos.
Huh.
Then we were going to do the dry lake bed at like 3 p.m. And so I went home for like an hour because they were like, we're going to go eat lunch, meet us back here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was a weird day.
Did you get booked for waiting?
I got booked for the whole 6 hours.
Yeah, you got paid for waiting?
Yeah, I got paid to come home and eat lunch with my wife, but like in general, I was like, you didn't need all this stuff because like in the end, all we really photographed was like the end at the dry lake bed because all this other stuff was like fluff, and then we get to the dry lake bed and it was literally blowing like 70-mile-an-hour wind, and we're like, you can't even be out here.
It.
Yeah, so
I gotta love it.
Sometimes you're like, you don't need all this.
I had 2 6-hour weddings this past weekend. I'm like, and now I'm on a 2-week vacation, you guys. We're going to Hawaii in a week.
Ooh,
nice.
Yes,
that's awesome.
sir.
That's great. I was
On
going to ask
vacation.
if you have anything exciting coming up. So
Yeah, we're
that's
going
perfect.
to Hawaii.
Not working.
Nice.
So I mean, I'm editing right now, but I don't have any shoots booked. But
That's awesome.
Are you taking that week off, or are you going to try to edit while you're there?
oh no, off.
Full 100% vacation?
OFF
That's good.
exclamation
That's
point.
good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna try to edit as much as I can and get. Like I said, I'm still in April, so.
So is that going to be the child's first vacation?
The child. No, he went to San Diego when he was really.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
But he's more cognizant these days.
Right.
I'd hope so, right? He's getting older.
Yeah.
This child you speak of, first vacation?
Yeah, it'll be great. I'm excited.
That's awesome.
We're flying first class.
Ooh. Baller.
Even the
That's like
baby?
the only way to do it.
No, baby's gonna be back with the
going,
chickens.
the baby gets economy.
We're like, how's baby doing? We're all drinking.
Someone's checking on him. I don't know.
Are you going just you 3?
Yeah, it'll be great.
That's so fun.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Any exciting gigs coming up that you're looking forward to?
Work-wise? Yeah.
Work-wise.
Just continual clients that are the same, like the wine and Prosecco clients.
Nice.
I really like working with them. It's an agency in New York.
Okay.
They booked me for multiple things like McKellen Scotch Whiskey.
Nice.
I've gotten to do some cool things with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, shout
Yeah.
out to them for keep hiring you. That's very cool.
Yeah, and if they keep coming back, it means I'm doing something right.
Exactly. I was
Yeah.
going to say that
Yeah.
next. You're
That's what I
obviously
tell
So
them.
doing a
that
good job.
alone speaks more to me than the job, you know? Like
Right,
the
sure.
relationships,
The repeat,
the
yeah.
relationship speaks
Yeah.
more.
Is that agency the one where you got to shoot Wolfgang Puck on the private jet?
That was no, that was the private jet.
Private-
that was
oh.
the one, the Tom Brady one. That was the same client.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was cool.
Which was great about that. Silver lining, I got to have breakfast with them and built more of a rapport with the people hiring me.
Did you get to have breakfast with Wolfgang?
No,
Oh.
but the private airline,
Oh,
and
close
that's
enough.
more important because
Yeah.
they're the
Client.
ones that are hiring
Yeah,
me. You know.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And they were like showing me photos, and they're like, "Well, do you like this person? We can have you photograph this person." I'm like, "Send anyone,
Right.
It could be anybody. Like
Yeah.
seriously, it could be anybody. It
Yeah.
could be Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'll still have
I would love to shoot Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
not the
Angelina
movie,
Jolie. And
I was like, wait.
the movie.
yeah.
You know, the actors.
She's very attractive, and he's equally very attractive.
Who was the Mister in that one?
Brad Pitt.
Never watched it.
Really?
Wait, what do you mean? Who's the Mister? I think it's kind of evident.
No, in the movie, was it Brad Pitt?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's your favorite movie?
He's been telling me these weird documentaries he's watching. I don't
So
think
you
he
like?
watches
So
movies.
you do watch documentaries as like inspiration?
Not inspiration. I just try to I don't watch a lot of things. I don't have the patience for it. And every time we put on a documentary, it's my idea. We put on a documentary, and then 15 minutes in, I'm passed out, and Ivana's stuck finishing it. So
And then she tells you about it later.
yeah, she's like, "Where did you fall asleep?" I'm like, "That all of it."
Did you see the one where the guy had a missing limb and it was in like some storage unit thing? Someone bought the storage unit thing and they fought over who actually owned the limb.
Whoa.
No, that sounds absolutely interesting.
I wish I knew the name of it. You can Google it. It's a really
What is your
weird-
favorite movie?
I mean, I'm lame over here.
Oh, my favorite movie.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz is great. I don't know if I have a favorite. I have like a cluster. Always really loved Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
Edgar Wright's really great. That movie's just so like funny.
Which
it's like Shaun of the Dead. It's like a
oh yeah.
it's like a spoof on like a scary movie.
It's called Finders Keepers.
Finders Keepers.
Fantastic documentary. So weird,
Okay.
hilarious
All right. We'll
at the
check it
same
out.
time.
All right.
What about you, Sean? Give us something here, man.
My favorite movie is There Will Be Blood.
Oh.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a really good one.
And I think I love it more so because actually Brent brought up last night we were watching a classic movie. There's a lot of dead time. There's a lot of silence in a lot of the older movies. Right now it's like a lot of fluff, like dun 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 dun, dun walking down the hallway.
Right.
Like we understand there's supposed to be suspense, you know. They make it so easy for you to feel. And back then it was like you had to find your feel. You had to find what made you feel. And I think Daniel Day-Lewis is like, oh my God, if I had to meet someone, I'd be like Daniel Day-Lewis all day. But There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
Fantastic movie.
Now that we're talking, so There Will Be Blood. I'm gonna say what's up there, top 5, Pulp Fiction.
We gave him enough time to think about his favorite movie.
Okay, Foot. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, but where's the feet in that one?
The dancing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's barefoot dancing.
And she's got like size fucking 12 feet.
And she's got
Uma
these.
Thurman
I wonder if those are
dancing.
her real feet.
And then also Uma Thurman in Kill Bill with the feet, her toes.
Yeah, what's her name on the dashboard of Once
Is
Upon a
this
Time
an
in
Easter egg that
Hollywood?
everyone knows but me, where he
Yes.
has a feet thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I just know other Easter eggs from him of like the characters that are always in other movies that are, even if they're a small part, or like walking behind, things like that, or like
That's such a Hitchcock thing.
he's also in all of his movies.
That's also another Hitchcock thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in all of them, but he's in almost all of them. I
Quentin
think.
or a Hitchcock?
Quentin.
Oh, well, Hitchcock is, but Quentin, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought there was something where
Yeah, he's in like wait, maybe I don't. Is he in Hateful Eight?
I think he's like, there's certain things like he'll be like a background where it's like you can't, like a silhouette and you can't even see him.
He was. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're right. I believe you.
She could be like our Jamie on Joe Rogan, like, hey Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, you can be our producer. You want to do a podcast? We could do the significant others. Okay. We'll get Crystal and you. I think that'd be fun.
And then
We could talk about how our craft, if it ever like impeach. Yeah, if it affects you guys.
well, then we'll get Brent on too.
Brent on too.
It'll be we
a
don't have
couples
enough, we
episode.
don't have enough microphones, but we'll figure it out.
That'd be cute.
No, we
Yeah.
all share a mic. We'll just take turns talking.
A couples episode.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, where could the people find you? You have a social media, website.
Under a rock.
What's your address?
What's your satellite coordinates?
5.107 east. Ashley truly works. But actually, I want to talk about more like my rock and veil.
Let's do it.
That's it. No, that's it.
Oh, I think you want to talk more about my rock and veil.
we were ready.
No, I want to.
All right.
No, I want to share my new
your
veils.
veil company, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
my rock and veil. So it's like rock and veil or rock and veil.
Okay.
Right? So,
And you have a website for that?
yeah, it's rockandveil.com.
Cool. Yeah, she said it 3 times.
I'm just making sure.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Because we're being informative, but she's also
Or AshleyMariemyers.com.
Okay.
or that.
AshleyMarieMyers.com. Nice. All right, friends.
This was a good one.
This was a
Okay,
great
Thanks
bye.
one.
for coming on.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
High fives.
And
Thank
then
you.
I
Go
connected
team.
it.
It's so warm in here. I'm like, whew.
I know.
All right.
I'm going to go jump in the neighbor's pool.
See ya.